Hello, it's Mina. What's up? Sorry. I won't do that Stitch voice unless maybe I do. But anyway, how's it going? I am doing poster graphic design for school. I'm also holding the wrong pen because it doesn't. How funny. How are you today? Yeah, it's cool. Kind of a little maybe. Nah, it's cool. Yeah, we have to use photos and stuff, and we're gonna design it, so it's gonna be a little over the place, but I have to do that homework today, so I'm going to do it. I'm tired. Happy I didn't have classes today. Yeah, me too. Don't have to work. I'm off school today, so gonna do a quick stream before the siblings later, and then whoever's. What did I do? Oh, okay. Never mind. We're fine. Totally fine. I didn't just accidentally do anything. Okay. Let me see if I can find my photos for this. So these are my poster references. I will put them on screen. Of what I have been thinking about doing. You still have to close tonight. That stinks. Well, at least you're free for a while. But anyway, so we're gonna maybe try to do one of these designs and layouts. And we're actually probably gonna do a couple different ones, but I have to find photos and stuff first. So the first little bit is gonna be me looking for photos that I'm going to then use to make something. But until then, you can look at these while I look through my computer files. All right, so let's see. What different things could we use? Yeah, it has been a little while since my last stream. Been super busy. Super duper busy. Hello, Bardic. Hello, Bardic. What have I been up to? Mostly school and work. I mean, that's really what set my streaming schedule, is just the different stuff that I'm having to do for school. Yes, I'm doing the graphic designs. I'm trying to find photos. My teacher doesn't really want us to use graphic illustrations for this, like digital illustrations and stuff. So I can't really draw on a lot of my artistic library. So I'm having to use photos. So I'm trying to look through photos to find stuff. Bardic. Thanks. Yeah, the thumbnails are good, right? I like them. The one I like the most currently is this one over here. I think it's cool. I like the skateboard one too, but I don't know. We might try that one. I'll have to find an image of a skateboard. Unsplash and Pixabay. Pixabay, that was the other one. Thank you so much. That was the other one that my teacher told me about, and I couldn't remember the name of it. Yeah. We are allowed to use Adobe free assets and stuff. She also wants us to have some of the photos and things that we take ourselves. So I do also have to use my things. So I'm trying to find stuff there that we can use. Like this might be cool. Hold on. I found a thing. Like we could maybe use this. Photoshop. Are you gonna work? Oh dear. But anyway, sorry, I was trying to answer Race. So yeah, so the stuff that I've been up to, like that's what it is. Just school and work mostly. Is keeping me busy. Okay, that is like one of the grainiest photos ever, but it's kind of cool, right? You love the iBit. Thank you. Yes, the drawing tablet is very cool. And it does this too. So when I put my mouse over the screen, and I move this around, it should be moving. Let me know if it's not, but I might also have to actually draw on the screen. But it's supposed to follow the mouse on the screen. And then the eye blinks when I blink, which is cool. I had fun rigging that. Okay, so something like that. I like the sun and the lens flare. I don't know which one of the thumbnails we're doing right now, by the way. I'm just kind of trying to find stuff. It is moving. Yay, it's moving. We have movement. But one of these. So let's keep looking for stuff here. What else do I have? Like most of what I'm doing at the moment is just going to be compiling image layers, and then we'll kind of play with them when we get somewhere with it. Like, I have this old car that I took a picture of once. We might use that. Old Rusty. Old Rusty. Ka-chow. I have some clouds. Might use some of these at some point. Because I think clouds can be a nice way to fill negative space. I have a koi fish. We'll keep that one just because it's kind of, it's really not a good photo, but we'll keep it just because it's sort of interesting. This might be useful. I have this like amphitheater looking thing. And then I have a couple city skylines. Not the video game. Just like actual pictures I took of a city. So we might use any or all of these. Let's see what other photos I have. I might also try to connect. I am in the same boat with you on schoolwork though. I have 2 more illustrations that I have to finish and mock up by the end of the day. Yeah, that's what it is. Like I've done half of my stuff because for history of graphic design and for my music tech class, I turned in my proposals and everything yesterday. But I have to finish the mock-ups for this, and then I have to record, I probably won't do this on stream, but I have to record a bunch of audio stuff for my multimedia class, because we're doing an audio assignment for that too. And it's supposed to be, that's interesting. So we're supposed to be doing this thing called a sound walk, is what he calls it. But basically it's, and it can be like imaginary. Like it doesn't have to be something like you don't have to like physically go on a walk and do it. You can do that. And if I get down to not having a lot of time, that's probably what I will do. But you can also just go around and like record sounds on your phone and do that. So I think that'll be a fun assignment. I'm just trying to get through graphic design first. Oh dear. So I have a lot of other stuff. Some of this is just visual references from my other classes though, which I really can't use. Some stuff I'll be able to. I have a fire hydrant. Might be interesting. I know one of my references uses like a sidewalk and there's people walking on it. And these are a bunch of old city photos that I have. Raid says, I'm so glad I'm not doing an artistic degree. And Bardic says, yeah, I set myself for doing 4 detailed... Oh, sorry, Windows security popped up. I'm setting myself for doing 4 detailed illustrations for a single assignment, and it is kicking my butt. Don't let anyone tell you art degrees are easy. Yeah, they aren't. It's kind of like they take... I feel like what colleges do, and I've told this to Walker before, but I feel like what colleges do is they take all of the technical knowledge that you have to know, which you do still have to know for some art stuff, by the way. But like, you know, think about like how difficult like higher math or something would be. Like they take all of that and then they just pour it into the amount of hours you have to do work for art stuff. Like that's really what it comes down to. Race, I don't know if engineering is an easier path or not. I'm really not sure. I know it pays a lot more. Ooh, there's a sidewalk. Ooh, okay, we might be able to use this. I like that sidewalk. Look at that sidewalk, chat. Ooh, it's so good. That was kind of weird. Anyway. I have an American flag. Ooh, maybe we could use the American flag? That's not copyright infringement, is it? I don't think so. Bardic says, rip. I guess it may be easier to certain people. I guess. I don't know. Walker's told me a lot of horror stories about his classes that he had to take for engineering. And I maxed out my math capacity when I took finite mathematics for college, which was the one that I needed for art school. So, yeah. Don't know. I don't know. I would love to see Walker try to finish some of our assignments, though. I think he could do it. I really think he could do it. He's very artistic, despite going for engineering and stuff. Like, he's a very artistic person. Wraith says, I was making a joke about how difficult college arts are. Gotcha. Gotcha. He would have really loved making the giant cardboard objects we did our first year, I think. Oh, the giant cardboard objects? Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I did that. That was like my first, it wasn't my first year in college, but it was my first year at art school. Like in an art class. And I made a cardboard violin, and that was a lot of fun. Great. Yeah, I made a 6-foot-long replica of my wristwatch. That's cool. A wristwatch would be cool. Did the hands actually move? Which I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not like a analog, but if it was analog, like, did the little hands for the clock move? Because that'd be super cool. Wraith says, oh, you missed me beating up Drake on TF2 last night. Yeah, well, I did pop in once. And then I did kind of get off because I was actually working on, so my project for music tech, I'm writing a song. And that's what I was working on last night, was I was working on writing the song. Bardic says, no, the hands didn't move, but the clasp worked. That's a hard word, Bardic. Yeah, no, it was super fun. For music tech, basically we have 2 projects and we get to do, like, the first one's recording something and the second one's editing something. And my teacher was like, yeah, but basically what's going to happen is you're probably going to do recording and editing for both projects. It's just kind of where you're focusing on stuff. So it's pretty much we just get to use the recording studio for 2 things. And so I still have to figure out the music part of it because I don't know exactly how to music. But the song is really cool. It really is difficult, Wraiths. Like, I was expecting it to be easier than it was, and it really wasn't. I even did research on, like, because at one point I was like, maybe I won't write my own song. Maybe I'll just, like, record singing somebody else's or something, you know? And I looked it up, and so apparently for cover songs, okay, I don't know exactly how it works for, like, songs that are in a different language. But for cover songs in the US that are, like, in English, and you do them, the way that works is you actually can't change the lyrics, which I thought was going to be the opposite. But you can't change the lyrics or the melody too much. And as long as you don't, it's actually, and you like record the instrumentals and vocals yourself, it's totally legal for you to like distribute and sell that recording of the song that you made. You just can't change the song in any fundamental way or it becomes a derivative work. Really interesting. You should rickroll your teacher. I thought about it. I've thought about it. I don't think my song is going to go that way. Actually, I'm really happy with the lyrics that I wrote last night. I was up till like 1 a.m. Working on it, and it was a lot of fun. Why I slept late this morning. I would have been up early. I don't think the revolver would be good. Me and Nana are currently working on some covers, so that's good to know. Yeah, so like if it's an English cover, you're totally, like it's totally legal. As long as you record the instrumentals and stuff, and you record that, like you can sell it. You can put it, there's different services you can go onto that will stream it. And another important thing about that is that it gets, like, of course, because YouTube is YouTube, it gets into a gray area on YouTube. So if you're doing a video attached to that song, technically, legally, you still have to buy the song, like the sync license for the song, that says like, hey, I can use this in my video. So you still have to do that, even if you recorded the cover for it. The cover, the like copyright coverage for that cover is just if you're streaming the audio itself. It's not like no video attachment. Because again, same idea. Like if you change the song in any way, it becomes a derivative work. And if you attach video to it, it becomes a derivative work. So that's why then you would have to buy the sync license. The thing about covers on YouTube that makes it kind of a gray area is a lot of people do covers. So if you look up the cover on YouTube and there's a bunch of other song covers of that song, you're probably okay. You know, it's kind of hit or miss. But your music might still get, like, even though you recorded the cover, it might still get copyright claimed on YouTube. You probably won't get a strike, but it might still get claimed and you might not be able to make ad revenue off of it. Or less ad revenue off of it. So that's kind of annoying. Wraith says, bruh, I can't stay up late much anymore. I get too tired if I have anything to do during the day. Well, yeah, and that's true, Wraith, which is part of the reason that I haven't been streaming as much. Because I'd love to be able to go to work, go to school, come home, and then stream, you know, a couple nights a week and that kind of thing. But that would put me like way past my bedtime and I have to get up early for work. So I got to stay up late last night because I didn't have to go to work today. But normally I have to. Anyway, I'm supposed to be looking for pictures, guys. Got majorly distracted. See, a lot of that's just artwork that I'd taken pictures of at a gallery once. So a lot of these photos, I don't know. I may have to. Ray says lucky. Yeah. I won't dispute that. It was kind of lucky. Birthday artwork reference. It must have been for a project that And then I have artwork references in here, but a lot of that is not photos that I took. So at this point, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to the websites that Bardic suggested and Pexels, which is another one. And I'm going to try to pull stuff from there. So let's see. Or the ones that Bardic suggested. I kind of want to try those first. Let me scroll back up. Unsplash and Pixabay. Okay, Pixabay and Unsplash. Okay, and I'm going to put this on screen, I think. Hopefully that's fine. But I want to be able to find pictures. So I want jumping person. Jumping person. This one's good. I like this. This is cool. So I feel like maybe we could do that. What is it? Free to use under Unsplash license. Bardic, help me. What does this mean? You know? What is an Unsplash license? Hold on, let me look at that. Unsplash visuals are made to be used freely. Our license reflects that all images can be downloaded. They can be used for commercial and non-commercial purposes, and no permission needed. So attribution is appreciated. Oh, good. Okay. Yay. So that's great. Okay, I also want to keep, if we download them, I want to keep a file. Let me do that in Chrome. Check for the plus mark in the corner. The plus mark in the corner? Is that on this page? The plus mark in the corner. Oh, Unsplash Plus. Okay, what is this? Members only content, unlimited, image cropping. Okay, I'm not gonna pay for it. So you can put it under both then. No, it's just if you, those ones cost money. Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, I want to keep a list then. Also, let me pull this back over here. I want to keep a list. I want to make sure that I give attribution to people for their photos, if I use them. So I'm just going to do this. Let's put this guy's name, which is Amel. I'm just gonna copy. Okay, yeah, there we go. That should let me cross-reference that. Now I can download this one. Oh, sweet. It gives you a thing when you download the photo. Perfect. Okay. So let's put that in here. Could not complete the command because the scratch disks are full. Because the scratch discs are full. What? I'll have you know the scratch discs are absolutely not full. Super. Okay, I'm gonna make a new folder for this. We're gonna call this poster graphics from others. Okay, we'll drag it into. Aha, and now I can put it in here. No, because the scratch discs are full. Why are the scratch discs are full? Learn how to fix. If you encounter your hard drive or drives used to scratch discs are running out of storage space required to perform a task. Yeah, I understand. But why is it telling me that? Because is it trying to save the project under C drive? Photoshop? Why? How do I change that? Oh dear. Let's see. Okay. How to change where Photoshop saves file. Preferences, file handling, or edit preferences, file handling in Windows. Okay. Edit preferences, file handling. Okay, I want this to go to the user's direct document. No. No. Absolutely not. No wonder it's getting on my nerve. Okay, let me move this over here. Adobe Programs. Adobe Photoshop. Did I put it in the same one? Let's maybe just make a new folder. What did they call? Okay, let's put it in here. We'll call this Photoshop documents. Select, hit enter, select folder. Okay. So if we did that, now I should be able to go back and do the thing. So if I go back to artwork and I go to art references, poster graphics from others, I should be able to hit OK on this too, hopefully. Do this. No, because the scratch disc is full. Ah, Photoshop, I'm going to kill you. Why? Scratch discs. C is no longer active. D drive is the one where you will be saving things. Let's try that. Did that work? Yes! Alright, let's go. Sweet. Okay, so there we have a person, guys. Sorry, I was crashing out for a second. Very good. I have now a person. Okay, I think we're gonna start designing. Sorry, this is taking me a while. We're like 40 minutes into the live stream. But I want to cut this guy out of his background. And I want to put him on the background with the silhouette. Drag that up, actually. So, yeah, I want to cut him out. Let's change how big he is. Because I have this design that I found on Pinterest that I really like. And I'm going to try to mimic that a little bit. This is not one of my poster references. I just want to try this and see if it works how I want it to work. So we'll find out. Anyway. So now then, that's done. Let's go here and zoom in. It even kind of looks like Octoreges. Perfect. Just have an arm check. That's okay, so I need a selection tool, which is selection brush tool. Yes, that's this. Can I change which one this is? I want the magnetic lasso tool. Oh dear, whoops. Okay, it just follows my mouse. That's cool. Click. Control Z. How do I get it to stop? Do I have to enter? I have to hit enter. Okay, undo that. Starting here, and I guess we'll just go ahead and trace the entire dude. Too used to working in Critics, not Photoshop. I have to use Photoshop for the class, so oh well. No, it does not want to track the finger. Who fixed that? Okay, there we go. We have a rough selection. Yay, rough selection. Woohoo. And now we can clean that up some. So if I hold Alt here, I'm gonna use my mouse, which I'm not good at, but should be able to clean it here. It doesn't have to be perfect either. I mean, I don't really want it to look like dude when I'm done with it. I just want his silhouette more than anything. I would like to try to keep his hand. Okay. Finally, we're getting somewhere. Which does make me very happy. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. Doesn't have to be too much crazier than that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to do... I actually don't know how to... So let's do Control C, Control V. All right. We could keep the brick background. I think for now I'm going to delete that though. And look, now we have him and he's floating in space. Isn't Photoshop cool? I don't know if I agree with it. It's kind of cool. Can do. I want to rotate him some. I actually kind of want to zoom back in here on his leg, because I think his leg needs to be a little straighter. Like, this was a photo, so this was actually how his leg was positioned. I just don't like it. Feels kind of unnatural to me. All right, Control D, wipe. There we go. Okay, so where to position him around the sun here? I think maybe like this, coming right next to it. Okay, and then we can do effect layers. So let's see, I want to do a threshold. You can kind of mess with this some, which is fun. Back from the mask. Okay, so if that's based on my brush size, I'll try 10. But I do sort of like the graphic. We can go in with a much smaller brush. Just kind of outline where he was, so that you're not losing all of the scale. Put it off for a sec. Okay, I kind of like that. It's sort of neat. And I think what we'll do is we'll take my add to mask. Go click here. Make the brush size bigger again. Big, smaller. My music stopped. Why does my music stop? Something went wrong displaying the web page. Okay. Well, that's cool, I guess. Next one. Okay. Right. So Bardic asks a good question. What happened to Photoshop? Did Photoshop crash? Okay, well, we'll get back to that in a second. I don't know why it crashed. So what the poster are supposed to be is it's supposed to be a music poster for a band or a songwriter person, whatever. And it's supposed to kind of be like a tour poster, right? So I picked specifically Unpack Your Heart by Philip Phillips. I don't know. His music's interesting. It's kind of like just indie, essentially. I mean, it almost has a country feel to it, but it's kind of like country alternative. So I don't know. That's sort of the vibe I'm going for. And I'm kind of also going for Octoreges theming, but I will see. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I like Philip Phillips a lot. So these were kind of my ideas for that, you know? Like his music, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of his stuff just kind of feels like outdoorsy to me, but not in the same way that like country music does. Like I don't feel like he's a cowboy necessarily, but it's like we're traipsing off through the backwoods, like hiking somewhere or something like that is always kind of the feel I get when I listen to his music. So that's sort of what I'm going for, and I'm really trying to hit on this, like, what is it like to unpack? Like, what would it look like if you were trying to unpack what's in your heart kind of thing? Which is why I had the suitcase, and then you have the letters coming out of it like this for graphics. Like, there's some different things here that we're going to try. And I'm not trying to spend a ton of time doing this as StreamerBot. Now I have to reopen Photoshop. It's closed on me. Rude. Why it crashed? I don't know. His stuff, it's folk. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. That was the word that my brain wasn't coming up with. But yeah. Yeah. Folk music. But yeah. So that's what we're doing. We have a bunch of different ones to try. I don't want to spend a ton of time on each one. I just kind of want to get the rough idea in. I think that's essentially what our teacher wanted us to do before next class. So I could spend time like designing the whole thing, but I'm just going for vibes. Did it undo? Why? Photoshop, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna. That's okay. Well, let's try this again. Apparently, Photoshop doesn't want me to have a nice thing. Polygonal lasso. Oh, this might work better for what I want. Trying to mess with the back. Because we are just going to do the posterize effect again. I don't know why that crashed before, but we'll save it after I cut him out this time. But you should always do incremental saves, guys. And then we will try to posterize it again. See if it crashes. Or Photoshop. I also kind of want to see if there's a way just to posterize like the specific here. Thought there was. Pretty sure there is. I'm really not as familiar with. mean, I've worked in the program before, so I understand like the basics of how to select all of the interesting little tiny features. Thanks. Now, shift. Maybe the magnetic tool would have been better. Anyway, you guys get to see how to select something 2 different ways, so that's cool. This is the polygon tool. And every time you click, it changes direction and it's just straight lines. It can be good for stuff like this too. Does the magic brush not work here with the brick wall? Hold on, I'll try that. Is it just the selection brush tool? Is this? Because the scratch discs are full. Oh, I heard it so bad. Why did it default back to this? No, I want you to save to my D drive. Startup. Okay, I'll have to figure out how to change that. That's why it's doing that. Okay. Is this what you meant by the magic brush? My computer is being so stinky right now. You're absolutely correct. So do I just like select everything here and then it'll cut it out for me? I think we did this in class actually. Probably right. Remove. All right, we'll see what this does. Yeah, like why is it gotta save stuff wrong? Well, why does it? This is one of the reasons I don't like the Adobe programs. No, that just removed the guy. That's not what I want. How do I get it to remove the background, not the guy? Hold on to the tool in the taskbar. That's not right. Okay, hold on. The tool in the taskbar. And which one is this? That was so funny, she says. You can always try invert, though. That's true. Let's try that. Select inverse. And just go a little closer to him, I guess. Oh, that's good. It's a different tool. Maybe I'm just using the wrong one. There's the spot healing brush. There's the marquee tools. There's the lasso tool. Select. Which one? The magic wand tool. Here we go. This might be. I think this is. Control D. Okay. So if we do this. Okay. No, there's like a literal remove background tool. It's somewhere in here. Where is it? Text. This thing, burn tool. Sharpen. Magic eraser? No, background eraser. Background eraser. Remove background. Continue on my device. Use cloud processing. I just DM'd you a tutorial. Thank you. It's still here. Okay, let me look at your tutorial. Background tool. You can access the Discover panel. In the Discover panel, navigate to the Browse Quick Actions and select Remove Background. Command or Control plus. Okay, hold up. Delete whatever this was. It masks the whole image. Doesn't. So go back to this. Select this. We're gonna do Control F. Here we go. Select background. Remove background. No, it's selected like this rectangular box. Yeah, I guess it doesn't have good enough edges. All right. Good try though, Bardic. I don't think that's gonna work. It's okay. We will do something else. Might be able to use that later though. I'm glad I know where it is. Delete layer mask. Let's try to use the quick selection tool. That might work better. Yes, this should work. Because I'm just gonna posterize it anyway. Okay. Okay, and then we can just clean this up some. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. That should be pretty. Now, you're missing his nose. Okay. Control C, Control V. Great. On with you. Yes. You are no more. Now he's here. So this is fine. Okay. Now if we go here, there's a way to do this on the layer itself. I can click and okay, hold on. Let's save this first. Save as. Because it's trying to save it to my documents tab. I bet that's why. I bet that's why it messed up. Let's go to my storage drive. Computer's being such a bum right now. Okay. Poster rough 1. Poster rough 1. Save. Okay. So now it should be saved there. And it should be able to find that. And when it autosaves, hopefully the program won't crash. That would be fantastic. So now maybe we can figure out how to posterize. So I want to do mask, select and mask. Oh dear. Delete clear mask. Not posterize, that's not what I want. Although that is kind of cool looking. No, what I want to do is I want to do threshold, like what we did last time. This, okay, this might be better though. See that? Zoom. Correct for mask. This size, brush, size. Okay, I feel like that's better. Sometimes your program crashing is okay. Doesn't seem like it in the moment. Sometimes it. Okay, and I actually want to, yeah. Oh, I have to select these together. Do that. Yeah. Okay. This brush tool. Okay, I think that looks pretty okay. Now I want to use some other brushes, and actually I'm probably gonna have to install those. So let's see here. If I go into brushes, and I go to, how do I add brushes? Get more brushes. Here we go. There's a couple that I want to grab real fast. I want the halftones and the impressionist brushes and water. Okay, so halftones we should be able to download real quick. Impressionist and watercolor. All of that should work. And now, yeah, there we go. There they are. So halftones. Maybe just impression. Let's look at this. Make a new layer. And on the sky a little bit. Let's coloring. I will come back to that. Okay, so what else do we want to have? I want to draw. Actually, what? Why is it? Okay. Why is the edge of big again? There we go. This is weird. Weird. Okay. Okay. So now let's look at some of our other images here. We've got this. This is our city. That could maybe be cool if we had the city below him. That's an option. We could also do this. I think is what I really want to add though. That's these clouds. Okay, so for this I want to try the trick that Bardic showed me. Let's see if we can do this real fast. I want to let me remember how to do this. Control plus F. Okay, I want to back to select subject or object in my image. That was just a tutorial. Okay, select background. Couldn't apply action. What about select subject? Anything? Okay, well for this maybe we can do something. I might actually be able to use the brush tool that we were using before. If we take this generative whatever brush, make it a little bigger here. A lot bigger here. And we should be able to go in this. Remove everything that is not. Now if we do that, we hit remove. There's not enough memory. Are you sure about that? Are you sure there's not enough memory? No, actually, we are using a lot of my memory. Okay, how do I do that? I'd have to stop something that is using memory. Close those. There we go. Now it's working. Now it is working. Now it is working. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, no, it's still having trouble. Alright, well, maybe I will finish this one later and we can work on doing another one right now. Or I could just do it manually. Like, just my magic collection tool. Alright, let's do that. Yes, do that. Okay, there we go. Now we have this cool cloud around. And I kind of think something like had the cloud coming from behind him here. Maybe something like okay, something like that's kind of cool. Now I need to figure out, let's merge these. Okay, now this is all one layer, and then we can try to apply kind of effect. Also, let's control that. I don't have enough memory to save stuff now. Ah, bah, bah. Ah, da, da, da. Let me make sure the stream is still running okay. It might not be. We could also probably close Discord. That might help. Live streaming. No, our connection is still supposedly good here. So we should be fine. Alright. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Twitch might be offline. I'm not really sure. Anyway. File. Yes. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Closing Discord seems to fix my RAM issue. At least, sorta. At least, sorta. Okay, so now let's try to do this. Can we give it a... gradient. Gradient. We found stuff with gradient maps. Maybe that, and then we can change the way the mode is blending. Okay, that was sort of neat. Okay, so if you want to do a mask to like a specific layer like this, and you do different effects here. No, you have to make it. If I wanted to apply this to just this, if I liked this, I wanted to apply this. How do I do that to the layer below? Create clipping mask? Yes, that's how we do it. Okay. Cool. Now we can just kind of play with it just for that one part of the image. Love her. Maybe that. We could even then do a posterize, or threshold, I mean. Let's do threshold. And then let's clipping mask that. Yeah, there we go. That's cool. That's cool. Very cool. I like it. Okay, then we can mess with our gradient map. So. Then that really comes down to like color density. Maybe we get rid of the gradient map for now. All together. Alright, but we have something like that, which is kind of cool. We have the sun, and then we have over here. I feel like this is using positive and negative space pretty well. I don't want to adjust the threshold anymore. We could also, instead of that one, we could try doing a posterized look. But I think threshold is probably better. Not person. This. We make another layer and we clipping it. Clipping masking, I think, is going to be where we do a lot of things here. Then I go to my brush. Go to my brush tool. Do a new one. Let's try a halftone. Halftones. And there are different ones of hues here. Make that deeper. so that I can see more things. Maybe this one? And zoom in on the dude. Yeah, that's fine. Thinking like a dark color. Okay, I don't know. Maybe something like that. And it's kind of. We could do the same thing here. You know, this. Do it. We could just go through here and color this. Let's try it. Where's the eyedropper? Okay. I don't know. This is just interesting, but it's a layout. So I think this is good enough. Let's try adding some text. Actually, let me see. Because I feel like I could use more graphics and stuff here, but just for the rough idea of it. And let's put in text, so. Put anything.